Okay, in this second section of absolute values, what we want to do is find the rules for solving absolute value equations and then use them on a few examples. Okay, there are three rules for solving absolute value equations. The first one goes like this. If the absolute value of x is equal to a, then x is equal to minus a, or x is equal to plus a. Alright, and we should think about this always in terms of the number line. Okay, so if here is x, have a think. Now, absolute value of x always means your distance from the origin. So if you were to say the absolute value of x is a, it's the same as saying you are a distance of a units away from the origin. Well, there's two ways to walk away from the origin. You can walk away to the right, or you can walk away to the left. If you walk away to the right a units, then you'll be at x equals plus a. And if you walk away to the left by a units, you'll be at x equals minus a. Okay, and that's where that first rule comes from. Alright, the second rule is similar, and it says that if the absolute value of x is less than a, then x must be less than a and greater than minus a. Okay, again, try to picture this rule in terms of the number line, because it all comes back to the number line. If this is the origin here, and this is telling us absolute value of x is less than a, means we're moving away from the origin less than a distance of a. So if we're moving away less than a distance of a, then we must actually be somewhere between minus a and plus a. Okay, so where we are is somewhere along that line there. And of course that line there is x between minus a and plus a. Alright, the third type of absolute value equation or inequation that you could get is if the absolute value of x is bigger than a, and what we get here is it has two parts. It means x is less than minus a, or x is bigger than plus a. Okay, and again, we should be able to see this on the number line. If absolute value of x is distance from origin, so here's the origin, and you are greater than a distance of a away from the origin, then you must either be here or you must be here. Okay, you must be at x is less than minus a, or x is greater than plus a. Okay, and that's where this formula comes from. Now, let me show you how to solve these formulas for a real example on the next page. Okay, so here are the rules, the three rules that we need to use, and these are relevant for every absolute value question. So let me show you how to use it. So for example, if you had a question that said the absolute value of 2x plus 4 is equal to 2, then what you do is you use the first rule up here. You say that 2x plus 4 is equal to plus 2, or 2x plus 4 is equal to minus 2. So therefore 2x is equal to minus 2, x is equal to minus 1. Or 2x equals minus 6, x equals minus 3. Okay, so that's how you do that question. If you had a question like the absolute value of 2x plus 4 is equal, that is, so not equal to, but less than or equal to 2, then what you say is 2x plus 4 must be less than or equal to plus 2 and greater than or equal to minus 2. Now in questions like these, you can actually simplify them by just subtracting 4 from all three parts. So minus 6 is less than or equal to 2x is less than or equal to minus 2. And then you can divide by 2. So minus 3 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 1. And of course in bracket notation, that's square bracket minus 3 to minus 1. Okay. And the final sort of question, if we just draw a line to separate these, the final question we could do is solve the absolute value of 2x plus 4 is greater than or equal to 2. In this case, you use the third equation here. So what you do is you say 2x plus 4 is less than or equal to minus 2, or 2x plus 4 is greater than or equal to plus 2. Okay. And you solve these ones separately. So 2x is less than or equal to minus 6, or 2x is greater than or equal to minus 2. X is less than or equal to minus 3, or x is greater than or equal to minus 1. Okay, and so in other words, this has two parts. And let's write it in bracket notation. Minus infinity to minus 3 union, because OR always means union, minus 1 to plus infinity. Okay, so there are three examples of how you do absolute value equations. Here's the first example, here's the second example, and here's the third example of how you do absolute value equations and inequations. And so all you really need to know are these three formulas. Okay, so the definitions were only important in as much as they help you to do these definitions. Okay.